and purpose. I'm reminded of an article of an author, Mark Twain, who suggests that the two most important days of your life are the day you were born and the day that you find out why. I think it's our responsibility as educators to encourage our children to understand that they have a purpose in life, that they have a goal that they have to reach, and it's our responsibility to help them reach their true potential. I also wanted to say that, in my opinion, belief is really incredibly important. Carter G. Woodson, in his book, The Miseducation of the Negro, talked about the importance of controlling the way a man thinks. If you can control the way a man thinks, you can control that man. So imagine if we can unleash the ability of our children to think. We talk about learning to read into the third grade, and then reading to learn. But what about learning to think? And explaining to our children that they have greatness that lies within them. And to coin a biblical phrase, as a man thinketh, so is he. And if we can explain to our children that their legacy is art, is math, is engineering, is science, we can inspire them to the greatness that relies within them. And that is my final comment, that I think that we need to understand as you go to these groups, that there's a sense of urgency. And I heard my colleague Edwin Javis say it. There is a sense of urgency and a sense of purpose. When you get into these rooms, you can theorize all day long, but take with you a sense of purpose, an intentional sense of what can I do? How can I commit to doing one part of this work to be able to change the lives and unleash the potential in our students? And secondly, approach it with a sense of urgency. It is cold blue time. We are on table, and our boys need our help now. So I encourage you, as you go here, do away with politics, do away with personal agendas. Focus on those boys. Because if we unleash the power that is within those boys, we unleash greatness for the benefit of not just the boys, but for all of us. So I thank you, and I encourage you, as you go to your groups, to continue to follow their dreams and encourage them to reach their full potential.
I'm going to kindly ask that we hold all questions.
First of all, I want to recognize representing in here. I also want to ask you to take one of the student pictures at this time. Please start heading to the room, and Ms. Sanders will tell you how you go to your room. Okay? Can I announce that all the New York State information regarding
Okay, you and Dr. Cole can't stand next to each other. That's not gonna happen. Dr. Cole gotta get in the back too. Yeah. Yeah, better. Move that. Guys, you gotta spread out. There you go. Half a step back. I can't see Carlos. That's perfect. Yeah, we got everybody. That's beautiful.
Everyone say Twitter.
Okay, stay right there.
Everybody say hashtag we all want to.
Stay right there a second.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
channels is gonna be on?
No channel. Okay. Okay.
Sorry. If I go the other way?
Wait, okay, excuse me.
Sure.
No, you didn't have to move. You were part of.
Is there a 139A? Number 139A. Just make sure you sign in right here. Grab records here, right out.
Violencia. Aquí estoy yo.
Yes, right when you come out of that left to your left, straight ahead.
All my colleagues would agree, were just phenomenal. Today, we're here to discuss milestone 5, and let me just kind of go over what or how this session will play out today. My colleagues who are here with me will each introduce ourselves. We'd like to know who you are, and then Ms. Shine will go over milestone 5. Once we go into the PowerPoint, we'll go over the responses from you and go back and share it. So I'm Sue Neighbor. I'm Principal of Career Technical and Adult Education for the Yonkers Public Schools. And with me today are 3 of our colleagues.
Elaine Stein, Yonkers Public Schools, Office of School.
Yes, I'm Donovan Beckford. I'm the director for the Westchester Putnam Workforce Development Board.
Vanessa Vasquez, assistant principal of one of our schools in Yonkers, pre-K to 8 setting.
So we'd just like to know who you are, and if we could start with this.
Lou Navarro, I'm the Director of Veteran Services for Yonkers, New York.
This morning, my name is Diane Atkins. I'm representing Senator Andrea Stewart-Cousins.
Class of 2005, Yonkers resident and Yonkers parent, and I'm a software engineer, so just looking to contribute.
Osama is Visual. I'm from the Westchester Education Office.
Our Smith, coordinating the Chauncey Village Leadership Academy, and we're associated with Dr. Buster.
Stephen Levy, Deputy Mayor, Mayor Max Brown.
Tanya Ainun, New York City.
I'm a master trainer at NCCR. Also teach occupational safety and health.
Maria Gribaitana, I'm Yonkers.
Business Service Liaison, Workforce Development Office.
Curious Walls, Pastor Metropolitan, President of Racing Tennis.
So take a minute to
Can you hold on 1 second?
While you're doing that, I do want to introduce just one other person who will actually, so when we get at the end, we talk about second chances, and he will share a little bit of the second chance, that story that he has to share.
anyone need more time?
Milestone being what? What's the milestone?
Ensuring all youth remain safe from violent crime.
That's right, second chance. So, given that, we're opening it up, the milestone is being presented.
Mr. Holmes,
Yes.
Mr. Holmes, you know, I'm the Commissioner of Parks and Recreation, City of Yonkers.
Yes.
You know we have several programs that involve youth, young adults that come in after school activities. And I think that's very important that we have those type of programs, that we give the youth the opportunity to walk the streets after school, someplace to go. I'm new to the Parks and Recreation Department. It started about 6 months ago, but I'm willing to take a quicker look or a different look at those programs and see if we can fit it better into my brother's keeper type of system. We're willing to do that. Try to support them as far as fixing the fields up, this, that, and the other. But that's another group that we might have to take a look at and see how their organizations are. They're very nice people to deal with. There's a federation of them. There's a president. There's 12. There's 13 groups. Parks Department. I'd be willing to work with anybody who wants to do that. But I think it hits all of what you're talking about. It's the opportunity It's for the young people to have something to do after school, and fill in that gap.
Be determined by its ability to get the support of the community and cooperation from people in the community. And we do a lot of programs, initiatives, outreach to the community, particularly young adults in the community, to try to get their cooperation so we can reduce crime, which makes safety better for the children, which is one of the milestones of number 6, to keep people safe. We also engage in a number of programs that are designed to build character, like our Youth Police Initiative that deals with at-risk youths, to try to build relationships with them in the community. Our HEART program to try to educate the kids in schools on the dangers of drug addiction. Our youth court, we have a young adult in windows approach, or hotspot type policing, to more focusing on the small number of people that are committing a large number of crimes. And we've seen a reduction, significant reduction in the number of public order arrests or low-level arrests, which often affects young men of color and hurts them later on having a criminal record. So our public order arrests are down, and that's a measurement that we can utilize to see if it's working as well. And also, even as far as like need-to-read programs that we read to the kids. So the police department is committed. Some of the measurements you can probably utilize are public order arrest percentages, number of kids that go through our programs, the YPI, the HEART program, the drug court. Again, low-level drug arrests, we try to divert them to drug court, where the focus is more on rehabilitation as opposed to punishment. So the diversionary tactics are important, and I just wanted to just mention a couple of other things.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we have 2 agencies so far. We have, however you are most comfortable. Just remember to introduce yourself.
Okay, yeah. Good morning, everyone. I'm Charlotte. Hi. I'm Mark. My family was affected by a violent crime. My brother was murdered by 2 young members who decided, unfortunately, to make a permanent decision based on a temporary situation. So what do I do? Why this is so important to participate in this? The more you learn, the more information we can put out there in our community. For example, we all know there's a direct correlation between education and crime, so I tried everything I can to fill in the gaps there, hosting college fairs, attending, visiting schools, doing assemblies, letting them know that, crime is crime, violence is violence, no matter what type was committed, no matter where it was committed, there's always a victim and an affected community and family members in the end. So, for example, I brought somebody all the way from Rwanda, Africa, a survivor of the Rwanda genocide, to tell our kids the true story of transfer to state prison and waiting to be adjudicated, and telling them everything in full and explicit detail what happens when, no matter what you think you can do on this planet. But the best thing we can do is make sure that it doesn't happen to anyone else in 2 ways. For everyone's lives, and we can help save the life of their would-be potential victims. So I do everything in my power to learn as much as I can and bring the information out there. So,
Thank you. So you can, in terms of the program, and also identify if these programs that you're mentioning are that we can find out more individually on your websites. Just help us know that, because we might not.
You mentioned John Beefus, Deputy Commissioner, Westchester County Department of Social Services. Department to provide services and alternatives to youth. We've been able to cut in more than half the number of juvenile delinquency placements and institutionalization. So, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm just telling you what we do, and I'm going to leave you with a real problem that maybe we should all tackle. Number 1, the district obviously is revising the code of conduct, moving it from a zero tolerance to a more restorative kind of philosophy and model, and get obviously people to understand that the problem is the relationships that students don't have with adults in our community and school, and that's why basically they don't see adults as part of the solution. And then the training that obviously adults need in the district, where we've invested in restorative practices, and I have a colleague that's been in the community for the last 20 years that's sitting here, and the importance of restorative practice.
Our young men of color, so we're really trying to hit this area. And we have 2 of our mentors here who have made this commitment to be with their students for 4 years. And we call this the Wi-Fi Scholars Program, but these students we know need more academically, and so these students also come to us after doing it maybe without a curriculum. But we provide this, and then they come in and meet with students, usually during their lunch period, and they bring sandwiches sometimes, and the kids really like that. But this is an adult, that's really someone who is watching them in a different way. Even if they have parents at home who are passionate about college and who are on the ball, to have someone else that's not blood related to be on a student goes a long way. And so that's a big mentoring program in the district that we're always looking for. The program sort of hits a lot of these components because it starts in ninth and then gets them all the way through, and then we support them in college as well. We have staff that work with students to support them. So
It is a real roadblock for so many students when it comes to college. And many of the parents who have not attended college find the FAFSA to be such an overwhelming undertaking. So we can all get together and make sure that we provide additional help to the families with that whole process. So can I have your commitment to work with me on that?
You've had our commitment for years. Very well aware of the prior year with FAFSA, which is a big advantage for students. And we do have a very personal approach when it comes to financial aid. The parents actually come to the office, they sit down with the counselor. So they sit down like when I went to college, you put everything out there and you never see a counselor. Actually, you're sitting there with someone talking about your options as well. So I think that you definitely have a commitment, an ongoing commitment with that regard.
financial aid off of, and it is incredibly tedious, and if you are undocumented, it's appreciated when Monroe's done that.
But even with your institution, we would love to, you mentioned mentorship, extend that one contribution part of Monroe is that we do have corporate partners throughout. It would be great to actually have a school to work. You guys, while you're working, put the milestones up on